If you own an Audi A4, A5 or Q5 from this generation, you'll know that the factory screen is pretty useless these days because it doesn't have CarPlay or Android Auto. So a lot of you guys will start to look at head unit upgrades, and you're probably doing your research right now, but a lot of people won't tell you that there is a big problem with these screens, and I'll show you what I mean. Now, before we get into the brand new screen, this is our factory system here. It still looks like a beautiful car inside. It's just that this screen is pretty much useless, but it does have really good Bluetooth phone calls and really good Bluetooth audio, especially if it's equipped with the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Now let's go look at a screen replacement. So you decide that the factory system needs to be replaced, you jump online, you find something like this from eBay or Amazon, and it's cheap, and you install it in the car. These are the issues that you will have. Number one is Bluetooth. You'll have terrible Bluetooth phone calls, terrible Bluetooth audio sound, and the further issues that you might have are integration issues with the car. So factory camera might not work, steering wheel controls might not work, and you might not even be able to access your original menus. We have seen all of it. Then these screens all get put in the same category of these are junk and they don't work. But that is not the case. Let me show you what we've been working on for a very long time for this platform. Firstly, shameless plug, if you want to have a look at the website and all of the screens and modules and stuff that we offer for these cars, go to the website. Secondly, this is what a lot of development gets you. All the way down to the screen protector. So that is a screen protector to suit this screen I'm about to show you. Here we have another 10-inch screen with a black bezel. So it looks slightly different. This screen is designed to work with the cars that we mentioned before, but factory Bluetooth phone calls, factory Bluetooth audio, and factory integration, so reverse camera, steering wheel controls, all of that stuff will work like factory, except you get the new 10-inch touchscreen. It's the best of both worlds. In the kit, you'll also have a fascia kit. This is to suit an A4, but we have fascia kits to suit A4, A5, Q5, RS4, RS5, S4, S5, basically that whole platform. Here we have the wiring, which we're about to go through, quad lock connector, CAN bus connector, USBs, secondary connectors, hazard light plug, all that sort of stuff in there. And then lastly, we have the bracket to mount this to the car. So the main difference there is research and development. Instead of getting an off-the-shelf screen that will physically fit in the car and just hoping that it works, we've researched and developed with overseas suppliers to get a screen that will work with the factory Bluetooth audio, factory microphone. Now, these screens that I just showed you do not run Android, so you're not going to be downloading YouTube or Netflix and using those applications. This screen is basically for what 90% of people want. A touchscreen system that brings the car up to date, access to all the original vehicle media menus and systems, including reverse camera and steering wheel controls, and factory Bluetooth integration. Cars like this have really good audio systems and Bluetooth systems. We need to retain that, and that is exactly what we've done. So, bit of a rant, but I have to tell you guys this because a lot of people watch my videos, then go and buy a cheap piece of junk on eBay, and then comment down in the comment section saying these things suck. They don't, you cheaped out, and that's why it sucks. Let's install this screen, I'll show you guys how it works, and you can all tell me what you think. For the removal process, it's pretty straightforward. This panel here is just on clips. Underneath this panel, the screen is held in by 4 Torx 20s. We're going to remove all of that. This radio module right here comes out, and it has 2 little slots on either side. There are special Audi radio removal keys that need to be used to pop this out. Once those 2 are out, we can unplug them and leave them to the side. Then we're going to come over to the glove box. This glove box has 8 mils, 3 at the top, 2 at the bottom, 1 on the side, and possibly 1 behind this cubby. That is all we need to do for removal. Now, one of the best things about these screens, these new screens, is that they're very simple to install. We don't have a bunch of antennas, we don't have a lot going on. I do recommend to everybody though, tape up all of your looms, okay? Whoops, if you grab it. Make sure everything is nice and neat. We're very big on that. So I'll get that done, pop that over. Okay, now we're gonna plug this straight into the original, this is called a quad lock connector. Like so, boom. Get a bit of tape around it. All right, we hate rattles. We hate things not looking original. We wanna keep everything nice and neat. That's ready to go back into the original MMI system. So we can pop that down in there, that we don't scratch anything. And then we have some extra wires here. Now they're gonna run down behind this area where I've got my hand here. We took the glove box out. We're gonna go to the CAN junction right here. And then the white plug is gonna go up to the screen. So we'll get that done. Okay, now that is this section here completed. This is for if you're gonna add a reverse camera. So you've got a little RCA right there. Here we've got backup. So if you've got a manual vehicle, you'll need to run reverse trigger straight to this. If you've got factory camera, don't worry about any of this. This is just accessory stuff. Here we've got CCD12. So if you've got an automatic vehicle, when you go to reverse, this will give you 12 volts. So that's your reverse output. Here we have a speaker cable, which we don't need to use because we're using factory Bluetooth. And then here we've got accessories. So this is more of a testing wire, and any of our customers, if you get stuck with install or something's not working, we're gonna ask you to put power onto this plug, onto this red wire. Otherwise, do not worry about any of that, tape it all up. I'm also gonna plug in the CAN junction right now, and I'll get you a screenshot of what that looks like as well. So there's a red plug right here. I'm just gonna pop it out. All right, you can't miss it, it's very obvious. Boom. Okay, see if you can see it. So you'll see a red connector right there. We're going to plug in the female to the male right here. And then this is going to take the spot. Very nice and easy, and you'll see what it looks like in a second. All right, any loose wiring like this, we're just gonna tape up nice and neat, and we're gonna put over here into this little section. Okay, so once this is done, we're gonna go to the secondary harnesses, and in the kit, you'll see this AMI plug. So this goes into the AMI port in the glove box, and then you've got a female 3.5mm AUX. If you're having issues with sound, you can take the RCA from the quad lock down here, extend it, plug it into here, and plug this into the glove box. This is for cars that do not have Bluetooth audio streaming as standard. So this car has Bluetooth phone calls and Bluetooth audio. So we don't need to worry about any of this because all of our sound is coming through Bluetooth. Some of the older cars only have Bluetooth phone calls and no audio, which means you're gonna run this AMI setup. I know it can be a little bit confusing, so if you get stuck, go to the website or drop a comment below. Now we come over to our secondary harness. This will go into the screen. We'll get some nice tape on it. Okay. Now there is 2 more wires here that are not needed on the secondary plug. We're just going to tape them up with the RCAs, with the USB ports. So this is what our secondary harness should look like once it's nice and taped up. The original plug that was going to the screen, the LVDS, we're going to plug that right in here. Boom. The other plug that was here, tape it up, don't need it. Then you will have 2 USB ports. Now, they're for wired CarPlay, wired Android Auto, USB updates. If you have music and video files or a hard drive, any of that stuff, that's what they're for. Run them wherever you want. We always ask customers where they want them. For you DIYers out there, chuck it wherever you want. Next up, we have our hazard light plug. So this is going to plug into the hazard light. If you've got the original hazard light, like this, but it's also got the airbag plug, it needs to stay plugged in. So what you do is pop it out of the housing, and once it's out of the housing, plug it into one of the males, tuck it away and put it down the side. Okay, it needs to stay plugged in so you don't get an airbag code. And then number 2 goes to your brand new fascia, plugs in. Simple as that. Next up, we have our main bracket. So that is gonna have cables come through, okay, just like this. Cable come through, cable come through. That gives us mounting points for the new fascia. So depending on what car you've got, you'll see on the website there, you've got different options. Then this comes in. All right, make sure you got plenty of length on everything. Now we're gonna grab the original Torx 20s. Oh, make sure you don't get that squished in there. There's a little spot for it. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna get the original Torx 20s and screw this in. And then lastly, the fascia is gonna go on. We're gonna plug it all in. We'll plug the hazard in as well. I'm just showing you how it's gonna look. And that's gonna clip on, and you will see all the screw holes line up, pop the screws in, and then we're basically ready to put this back together and test it, which is crazy. Now, before we pop the fascia on, you need to grab all of the clips from the original fascia panel. Then we're gonna take them all off, squeeze them back down, because they get loose when you take them off, and then pop them on to the new fascia, just like that. There we go, check it out guys. Brand new fascia is on. Hazard light all working. Now we're gonna pop the original MMI back in and the glove box back in. We're gonna slide the screen down so it comes in, slides down. You'll see all this on video anyway. Pop the screws in, we'll turn the unit on and test it. How nice is that for a simple install? No antennas, no A-pillar off, not too intrusive at all, very DIY friendly, but the beauty is gonna come from the screen itself. Let's have a look at it in the next clip and get a look at that. It is already looking so much better. We'll get this screwed down. At the very back here, there's two little covers. We're just gonna open them up. Supplied screws go straight down. That'll secure this thing into place so it's nice and tight. And then we'll turn it on and see how it all works. All right guys, check it out. This is the screen installed. It is all securely mounted. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna rattle. We're 100% happy with the install. And here we see the original screen. So we've obviously got a much larger screen now, but right here is everything that we had before. So your radio, menu, car settings, everything is how it was. Nothing has been lost. That is number one most important. Now to get to the new side, we're basically just gonna touch the screen. And here we have it. This screen is very nice and simple, which is what I love. We have CarPlay right here. It'll tell you how to pair your CarPlay, which I'll show you in a minute. Same with Android Auto, both wireless, very quick, very nice and easy. Video and music, if you plug in a USB to the USB ports that we showed earlier, you can access those files. Perfect. Mirroring for Android and AirPlay for iPhone if you do want to mirror things like YouTube and Netflix right there. Phone, this is where we're going to pair our phone. Gallery if you want to upload photos to the unit, and that is pretty much it. And that is what we love about it. It's all the things that people want to use without being overly loaded up with, you know, an Android OS and Netflix and YouTube and all that sort of stuff. Some people love it, but for most people, this is perfect. Now, when we go to car info, which is also found here, the resolution is perfect. But if when you install it, your resolution is off, you want to hit the little settings up here, OEM screen size, you need to go through each one. So you'll see that's obviously wrong. So we go through, go to 800 by 480, and even that looks wrong. You need to actually save it once you've set the resolution correct, and then it's gonna work. That's number one. Number two is when we go to reverse, so even from a CarPlay mode, you're gonna see factory camera. But if you go up to settings here, you can change your camera to a AHD camera if you've installed one, OEM camera like that. Okay, so we're gonna go back to aftermarket, and you can do AHD cameras, TVI cameras, there'll be NTSC and all that sort of stuff there as well. But we have an OEM camera, so we're just gonna flick that to OEM, and there we go. Factory camera on the brand new screen. So far, everything is working. Now, I'm gonna get to the beauty of this screen right now. Let's go back to car. So let's pair our phone to the original system of the vehicle, telephone. Bluetooth, find Bluetooth devices, done. Okay, now let's go settings, Bluetooth. So this is the original Audi Bluetooth right here. I'm going to pair my phone. All right, but done. So in my Bluetooth list, we have Audi MMI. So if I get a phone call now, it's gonna go through factory Bluetooth. As for sound, we've also got my iPhone on Bluetooth audio, so we can go to Spotify and we'll play some R&B Fridays. Amazing, done. Now we're gonna go here and we're gonna go to CarPlay and we're gonna find car audio, F90, blah, blah, blah in our settings. All right, keep an eye on this. So sometimes you will get a notification here saying, do you want to use CarPlay? And what it does is it allows this here. So if you toggle that off, you lose CarPlay. So when it says use CarPlay, your phone automatically does this. So if it ever doesn't pop up like it just didn't on my phone, just hit the little indication there and make sure it's on. And here we go. We now have wireless Apple CarPlay, phone calls, music, maps, messages, home to get out of it. You swipe over, you've got Spotify, radio app, Waze, right? And this is all very fast for a nice wireless system. Now, the beauty of it, Spotify's on. We'll go back to our music, we'll press play. So we've still got Bluetooth audio working, beautiful. Here's the beauty, we've got sound working, that's all going through factory Bluetooth audio, so it already sounds 10 times better. Now I'm going to make a phone call. So we'll go here. Oh, even better. Let's do Siri. Siri, call Jaden New.
Calling Jaden New, mobile.
And have a look at this. The only options that you have is the factory Bluetooth. So that means we're going to get amazing phone call quality.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
How's it sound?
It sounds good.
Sounds like genuine?
Yeah, genuine.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. And there it is. That is the beauty of this screen. It's nice, it's simple, and everything works. We're on factory Bluetooth audio. We're on factory phone calls, but we get the new touch screen. We get the fast CarPlay. We get to use all of these great features. You got video and music there as well, so if you want to do those files. Now I'll probably do another video later on where I show you how to do AirPlay. Obviously you have to be disconnected from CarPlay for that to work, but you can basically stream your phone, YouTube, Netflix, all that stuff right to here. So you do kind of have best of both worlds in that case. That is pretty much it. In the settings, you've got sound settings there, so if there's anything you want to play with, you've got display settings here for your brightness. We've got the phone link, so is the car left-hand drive, tick on or no. Automatic reconnection on yes. Do you want the reverse camera to work? Yes. And then system settings. So that is our brand new screen at a glance. Anyone that's thinking, can you change this user interface? No. They are a fixed user interface. That is it. The last thing to do, rip that off, and this thing is going to feel even better again, much faster. If you do want a screen protector, you saw at the start of the video, we have our own screen protectors that go on these, designed for these screens. For this customer, I'm going to put it on as a love job, but normally we do sell them. And that is it. Let me know what you think. If you want to pick up one of these screens, go to the website www.shoptfb.com. They are all here. This screen is going to be called, I need to call it something so you don't get confused with the Android screen. This is going to be called the Basic Pro. It's a basic system in the sense that it doesn't run an Android OS, but it's a pro system because look at that. Amazing. Done. There it is, guys. Brand new screen to suit Audi Q5. Like I said earlier, A4, A5, all the RS models, Q5, SQ5. We have a system for it. This is the B Pro, Basic Pro unit. Perfect for CarPlay, Android Auto, factory Bluetooth integration, everything we saw there. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you want to reach out to us, installation or otherwise, go to the website, fill out the contact form. That is pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.